Hello, world. Welcome to episode 118 of the Jimmy Canz Show. It is Survivor Series WarGames prediction time. I am joined by the new three-time Jimmy Canz Show champion, Rodney Washington. Congratulations, Rodney.
Appreciate it. I got to slow down, man. I'm gonna mess around and run out of fingers here in a couple years.
Yeah. You know, now the three time.
Yes, sir. Well, we'll see how it goes this weekend. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see how it goes this weekend. So, not a big card, but a very action-packed card.
Yes.
So Survivor Series this coming weekend from the TD Garden in old Beantown, Boston, Massachusetts. So pretty appropriate that we're in Massachusetts, site of the first Thanksgiving as we hit Thanksgiving week here. So like I said, there's 5 matches. Let's get into it a little bit.
All right.
Opening match, triple threat match for the United States Championship. Seth freaking Rollins defending the United States Championship against all day Austin Theory with his new attitude and the almighty Bobby Lashley, who has been on a tear since that loss in Saudi Arabia. Should be an interesting one. I will kick us off here. I'm going to say this is a hard one to try and call for me, to be honest with you, based on these 3 guys and kind of where things are going.
Yep.
I think there might be some shenanigans here.
Okay.
Things aren't settled between Lashley and Lesnar, so maybe Brock shows up, causes some havoc, does some damage. If that is the case, you got 2 sneaky kind of guys here. You got Rollins, who could sneak the win because of the beatdown. You got Theory, who can sneak the win because of the beatdown. Man, I'm going to go Theory.
All right. Well, I think we thinking the same way on this one. I'm going Theory as well.
Okay.
Just kind of in a triple threat situation, right? But you got which one kind of doesn't belong with the others, right? You got 2 vets and Theory.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good way for him to get a huge win without making either one of the other ones look weak.
But the other thing too is Theory's got this new attitude. He's not, he's not the selfie taking. He's being very ruthless, very aggressive, very, So this is a new Austin Theory.
And a win here could really push that new character forward.
Yeah, it could. It absolutely could. Like I said, the only thing that had me, hemming and hawing a little bit on this is, this is the big anniversary too of Rollins' main roster debut. If you remember, the Shield debuted at a Survivor Series. So, this is like an anniversary kind of thing for Rollins. So I was like, do they? But, like I said, I think you could have a Lesnar involvement. Who knows? Even if he's not 100% ready yet, maybe you could even have Cody do a little something. I mean, like Austin wasn't 100% that time he came out and swung a chair. He was still coming back from the neck. He was still a couple of months away from return when he came out and swung the chair and cost
a light bump, super light bump, no bump at all, actually.
No, it was no bump at all. All he had to do was swing the chair. He didn't take the chair shot. He swung the chair. So, like I said, they've done that kind of stuff before. So, like I said, who knows? And like I said, that's kind of where my head is on that one. So next up for the SmackDown Women's Championship, Shotzi challenging the champion Ronda Rousey. Who are you taking in this one, Rod?
Well, she's looking like RoboCop without the helmet on this picture here, but I'm going with Peter Weller as Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, Ronda Rousey, huh? Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. I'm taking Ronda as well. I don't think they've built Shotzi up enough to have her be credible to unseat Ronda at this point.
Agreed.
So I'm in agreement. Next up, singles match. AJ Styles, who will have the rest of the OC and Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson out there with him, as well as their newest member, Mia Yim or Mishin. I don't know if they're using that as a nickname or if they're completely rebranding her now and calling her Mishin, against Finn Balor representing the Judgment Day, who will also have Damian Priest, Dominic Mysterio, and Rhea Ripley out there with him. So numbers game is even in this one. For that reason, OC finally figuring out the Rhea problem, I'm going to go with AJ Styles in this one. You know, the Judgment Day's been running roughshod for a while now, so you know you got to have them lose one every once in a while to keep things interesting. So that's where my head is.
Okay. I'm going Finn.
Going Finn.
Yeah, I think, you know, if you look back at Finn's history since he's been on the main roster, he hasn't been able to really, like, you know, he came out on hot. Everyone was crazy about the demon. Then he gets injured.
Yeah.
Then, you know, it's kind of been kind of a start, stop. Whether it was injuries or whether it was just like not quite getting the win, the big win, you know, no matter what it's been. I think now they're trying to kind of fish with him again here in this group. And I think that's kind of why they've been having so much success lately. So I wouldn't be surprised if they kept that going.
Okay, fair enough. Sound reasoning. Now we get into the War Games matchups themselves. So we'll start with the women's War Game match. You've got Team Bianca, represented obviously by the Raw Women's Champion, Bianca Belair, joined by Mishin, the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka, the Goddess, Alexa Bliss, and a fifth member to be determined. We're going to find out on Friday, but we can't wait until Friday to record this. Taking on Team Damage Control, which will consist of Damage Control, which is Bayley and the WWE Women's Tag Champions, Io Sky and Dakota Kai, joined by the unhinged Nikki Cross, as well as from the Judgment Day, one Nightmare Rhea Ripley. Which way are you going to go in this one, Rodney?
Well, I'm first off, for the to be determined person, as we discussed offline between you and I. See, we bring them behind the scenes on this show. We bring them behind the scenes.
Yeah, we obviously.
So as we discussed offline, we're both leaning toward it being Becky Lynch.
Yeah, that's the rumor and innuendo, if you will, is that it will be a returning Becky Lynch. So yes. So
if I'm banking on Becky, I'm going Bianca.
Yeah. I'm going to agree with you. Again, you know, for the exact same reason. You don't have Becky come back and lose. I mean, it was kind of just kill any kind of steam on a return to lose on your return.
Yeah. And I think it's a good opportunity also to kind of switch up that storyline between Becky and Bianca as far as like the rivalry, going in the same direction.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, they kind of had the mutual respect thing at SummerSlam, even though she got injured in the match, and then you know, and then they had, you know, the Bayley returned and Io got called up and Dakota returned, and it was the debut of Damage Control, but like they couldn't do anything with Becky because, you know, she got injured in the match. So now this is her kind of quote unquote redemption there.
Yeah. So I like it. I think so.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not Becky, I don't know. The only other person I could see, if it's not Becky, and you know, it would get a huge pop, and I don't think it would change my decision. It would make me still go with Team Bianca.
Okay.
Is if they are able to work out their differences, and it's a returning Sasha Banks, because Boston is her hometown.
Yeah. Even if I'm banking on Banks, I'm going with Bianca. I'm just
that's what I'm saying.
I'm using that alliteration as much as possible today. Thanksgiving week, guys.
Yeah. But like I said, it doesn't change, which way I'm going, regardless. There, I mean, and then I just don't see any other individual, fitting into this. I don't know, maybe Beth Phoenix, and again, that wouldn't change my decision.
Yeah, and it just we wouldn't be as. I mean, it's not worth holding out for Beth Phoenix. I don't feel
right.
You know, what I mean, you just announced Beth Phoenix is on the team.
Well, they're going to. They're like I said, they're going to announce who it is on Friday. We just can't
what I'm
wait
saying
till
is
Friday to record.
Yeah, if it's Beth Phoenix, I think you just announced that it's Beth Phoenix. You don't wait till Friday before. It's not like a big bombshell like Becky Lynch or Sasha Banks would be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wouldn't be just nowhere near as juicy.
Yeah. So all right. So that only leaves us one match, which is the men's war game contest. And that is consisting of the following 10 individuals. You've got the Brawling Brutes, which are Sheamus, Ridge Holland, and Butch. They're going to be joined by the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre, and the prize fighter himself, Kevin Owens, taking on the Bloodline, which is obviously your undisputed WWE Universal Champion, the Tribal Chief, head of the table, Roman Reigns, joined by the longest reigning tag champions in the history of the WWE, Jimmy and Jay, the Usos, along with the Island fighter, Solo Sikoa, and the honorary Us himself, who's feeling very Usy, Sami Zayn. I think this is an opportunity to have a show where Roman does not walk out of the show with his hand raised, and it helps fuel some things here because obviously it's not a title matchup. So I'm going to go with the team of the Brawling Brutes, McIntyre and Owens here. It can help further some dissension within the ranks there, depending on who takes the loss within the bloodline. So that's kind of my mindset there.
It's gonna be Sammy.
Sammy, what?
That takes the loss.
You think?
It's gonna be Sammy. Which lets you know my pick. I'm going Team Mac and Brutes.
Yeah, I mean, you think it's gonna be Sammy? Because like Sammy's hot right now. You think they're gonna want him to take the loss?
Yep. I think it'll add to his heat.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll add to the heat. So
here's what I think.
Yeah, I was about to say, give me your breakdown. Who you got?
Here's what I
think. What do you think?
I think Sammy is, says I quit or we give up or something like that. But it's not because Jay's in some kind of maneuver. And he gives up on behalf of Jay to keep, you know what I mean? And then he can be like, I did it for you, Ooze. I was worried about you, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
And Jay can be all bent out of shape, and everything like that. So I think that's the way it could go.
I mean, that's hot too. I can see that too.
So if you've been keeping track, that only means we've got one difference.
And there it is.
You're taking Balor, I'm taking Styles. So the rest of the show is a moot point for us.
And everybody, so y'all know it's a match you got to pay close attention to.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's that. Coming up in a couple of weeks, we will have our bowl season prediction special. Always a fun one to do. Lots of bowl games. Who's in? We'll find out in a little over 2 weeks. And then we can get this one in the can. A lot of bowl games to discuss. And we're finally at a point, I think, with everything where we're not going to see bowl games getting canceled at the nth hour like we have the last couple of years.
Yes. I think we'll have
all of our picks will actually come to fruition in some shape or form.
Mm-hmm.
And in addition to our bowl prediction special, also around that same time frame, we'll have NXT Deadline predictions to discuss. new match type should be pretty exciting one. The Iron Survivor Challenge. So, what are your thoughts on that Iron Survivor Challenge? What do you think about it, Rod?
Well, I'm interested to see how it. In theory, it sounds amazing.
Mm-hmm.
In premise sounds amazing. I want to see how it plays out, and
I mean, it's kind of got a reverse Royal Rumble mentality to it when you really stop and think about it, because it's whoever has the most falls in the 25 minutes. But yet, if you're the last person to enter the match, you've only got 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like the earlier you're in the match, the more opportunity you have to get falls, but you also will get, more worn down.
Yeah.
And everything. But and then like, if you take a fall and you go into the penalty box for 90 seconds, you're losing more time.
And the element of having to get a pinfall as opposed to throwing someone over the top rope.
Well, no, it's any type of victory. So it's pinfall, submission, count out.
Yeah, but I mean versus the element of succeeding by throwing your opponent over the top rope, right? So having to actually win a fall versus
you have to get a decision in some shape or form.
Yeah, that's another variable that makes. I want to see how it plays out. I want to see how it plays out in real time.
Yeah, so like I said, it's just it's not too often these days that we get to see a new match type. So they did come up with a new concept here. It's pretty original. It seems pretty good. We'll have to see how it plays out. Like you said, on paper it seems really good. We'll have to see how it comes into practice. What's cool about this is it's not a match type that is more beneficial to a particular style.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, whereas your battle royals, your bigger guys are usually better in your battle royals because they're harder to get over the top. They're stronger. Your ladder matches are usually more geared towards your faster, your lighter, your high flyer. So this one is like it's an even playing field. You just need to get
whatever you do.
So it doesn't matter whether you're a brawler, a high flyer, or whatever. You just need to get decisions.
Yeah,
so that's kind of cool too. They came up with a new match type that doesn't favor one discipline over another.
And that's what I'm saying. Like the fact that that variable that you have to get a decision. You know what I mean? I want to see how it plays out versus just having to throw someone over the top rope. So it'll if they pull it off, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I think it should be good. Like I said, we'll get a men's and a women's version of that. We'll see how else this card shapes out. They haven't. We don't know any of the participants in either of the Iron Survivor challenges yet. I guess we'll start to find out tonight. On tonight's NXT, I think I'll start to do some qualifying matches there, and then maybe we'll get some other matches that are going to take place on the card. Maybe the tag titles are on the line, or the North American title, or we just got to see how this card starts to shape up. We've got no idea what's going to happen other than those two matches at this point. We don't know who's in them. So, anything else you want to share with the good fine people or good fine listeners and viewers and subscribers?
Well, if y'all have been listening along, y'all know I do a lot of coaching. So, fortunately, my 14U Pop Warner team is going to the national tournament. We got an invitation to go, and we'll be there in 2 weeks. So, try to bring this national championship back to little old Apopka, Florida.
Little old Apopka, Florida.
Orlando, for those of you who don't.
The Orlando metro region.
Mid Florida region, yes.
Yes, it's the mid Florida, the land of the rat.
Yes, and the games will be played at Camping World Stadium, and I'm hearing that they may be on ESPN. So
maybe on ESPN. Okay, so check out ESPN. Look for Coach Rod.
Yes, and the sideline. The Apopka Daughters 14U, man. We got some killers out there, man. Kids you'll be seeing playing on Sundays.
If not on ESPN, is there anywhere else? Is it going to be streamed anywhere or anything like that? Or
I'm sure, because they've been streaming all of our games so far. So
where can our people tune in to see that? Is it streamed through YouTube? Is it streamed through Facebook? Where would they go?
It's been different places for the example, for the first round of the regionals, we were streamed on Facebook, and this last one's been streamed on YouTube. So You know,
Right. So
as
keep
I
your eyes
find
open.
out. Yeah, I'll put something in the comments of the video once I find out.
All right, great. All right, everybody. So give us a like, a share, a subscribe. Give us your picks as well down below, wherever you are. Rodney and I hope you're doing well. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Enjoy the time with your family and your friends.
Yes, yes,
Take
yes.
care of one another. We will see you all when we see you.
See you when we see you.